Nobody cared when I was weak. That's where we'll start. Not in some fantasy where people support you just because you're trying. Not in a world where effort is enough. No, I started where everyone ignored me. Where my name was a joke. Where every breath felt borrowed and every day was a reminder that I wasn't strong enough to protect anyone. Not even myself. I was the one they overlooked, the one they left behind during raids, the one they glanced at with pity, not respect, the weakest hunter in humanity. Every time I stepped onto the battlefield, it wasn't confidence I carried. It was fear. Fear that I'd fail again. Fear that I'd die before I could become anything more than a burden. And no matter how much I wanted someone to notice the fight inside me, no one ever did. And in that silence, that emptiness, I realized something that would change everything. No one is coming.
The truth is brutal. It's not poetic. It doesn't offer you peace. But it offers you something better. Clarity. No one's going to save you. No one's going to lift you out of your suffering just because you're tired. The world doesn't care about your almosts. It doesn't celebrate your attempts. It only responds to one thing: results. And when I understood that, not just heard it, but truly understood it, everything changed. No one cares how tired you are. No one sees the scars you carry. The world doesn't pause for your pain. It steps on you, crushes you, walks past your broken body, because that's what happens to the weak. They are forgotten, replaced, buried, and I was one of them. But I didn't stay there. I stopped waiting for sympathy. I stopped wishing someone would pull me out of the darkness. The truth is cruel, but it's honest. The only way out is to climb, bleeding, crying, alone if you have to. And when you make peace with that, when you stop resisting the pain and instead begin to embrace it, something inside you wakes up. That's when you start to feel it. The shift. When you stop begging for mercy and start demanding power. When you train, not because anyone's watching, but because you refuse to stay weak. When fear doesn't vanish, but it no longer owns you. When you wake up one more time after thinking you couldn't. You change, you evolve, you become something else, something they can't ignore. They say get stronger. They toss those words like they're simple, like they understand what it means. But getting stronger, is it a moment? It's not a transformation that happens overnight. It's a war. A war against every part of you that's comfortable with being average. A war against the part of you that seeks comfort, approval, and safety. Getting stronger is killing the version of you that flinched, that hesitated, that waited for permission. It's about breaking yourself again and again until what's left is unrecognizable. Not because you became someone new, but because you finally became who you were always meant to be. It's about becoming fire. Not someone who's warmed by it, but someone who survives inside it. You learn to bleed and keep moving, to break and keep building, to fall and stand back up so many times you forget what the ground felt like. So when people say you've changed, you just smile, because they don't know what it cost to become this version of you. They don't know the nights spent in silence. They don't know the moments where you could have given up and no one would have blamed you, but you didn't. They don't know what it means to be forged in suffering. You think I'm strong now. You didn't see the nights I was on the floor, coughing blood, watching teammates die. You didn't hear the thoughts that whispered, "You'll never be enough." You weren't there when I had nothing but broken bones and a will that refused to die. I didn't just wake up strong. I bled for it. I broke for it. I suffered, and I chose to keep going anyway. You think I'm strong now? No. What you see now is the surface, the result. the shadow of the man I had to become. But if you saw the path I walked to get here, you'd understand why I don't speak much, why I don't explain myself, why I carry silence like armor. Because before the strength, before the fear in their eyes, I lived with fear in mind. Every step into a dungeon, I wondered if I'd return. I'd check my gear twice, not because I was careful, but because I was scared. And every time I looked into the eyes of monsters, I didn't see an enemy. I saw a reflection of what I was becoming, of what I needed to become just to survive. Pain didn't break me. It introduced me to myself. And somewhere in the middle of all the dying, all the running, all the blaming myself for not being fast enough, strong enough, something shifted. I stopped apologizing. I stopped asking the world to understand. I stopped seeking anyone's hand to pull me up, because every time I reached out, there was no one there. So I started reaching inward. And there, in the dark, beneath all the doubt and weakness, I found something no one could take from me. Resolve. Not motivation. Motivation fades. It disappears when you're hungry and hurt and alone. But resolve. Resolve remains when everything else is gone. Resolve is what makes you crawl when you can't walk. It's what makes you clench your teeth and move even as blood runs from your body. And even when the voices scream, stay down. And once you taste that, once you know what it's like to fight from the bottom with nothing but raw willpower, you stop fearing death. Because you've already met it. And you didn't flinch. That's when I knew I couldn't lose anymore. Because I'd already lost everything that made me soft. The only thing left was hunger. Not for attention. Not for validation. But for mastery. For transformation. I wasn't born strong, I was forged. In silence, in failure, in the kind of suffering no one claps for. So don't envy the result, understand the process. Because if you want to walk this path, you will bleed, you will break, you will stand alone more times than you can count. But if you can survive the fire without begging to be saved, you won't just become strong, you'll become inevitable. And that's the part people never understand. They want the glory but not the grind. They want the respect but not the pain. But me, I learned to make pain my mentor. I didn't wait for strength. I earned it. With every ounce of suffering, with every scream I swallowed, with every moment I stood back up when my body screamed to stay down. Let them call it obsession. Let them call it madness. Let them call it darkness. They'll never understand, because this isn't about revenge. This isn't about proving something to the world. It's about proving something to myself. That the weak, forgotten, invisible man I used to be, that he was just the beginning. A spark. The first breath before the roar. I needed to meet that version of myself. Because without him, I wouldn't know how far I've come. That weak hunter, the one they all pitied, he died in that dungeon. And from his ashes, something else was born. Something terrifying. Something unshakable. You see, power doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't explain itself. Power walks into a room and everyone feels it. Power doesn't beg, it commands. And now, I don't speak to be heard. I don't fight to survive. I fight because it's who I've become. Because the silence I once feared now follows me, like a shadow. I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to be remembered. I'm here to rise. To take everything they said I'd never earn. To become the man that no one can break. No one can touch. No one can ignore. Not anymore. Because now, I am the storm. So don't ask for pity. Don't cry for help. Don't wait for someone to carry you. Because in this world, nobody cares. until you win, until you rise, until you become too powerful to be denied, and then they'll ask how you did it. They'll say they always believed in you. They'll beg to stand beside you. But by then, it'll be too late, because you'll be somewhere far above them, too strong to hear the noise below, too focused to look back, too awakened to ever be broken again. So listen to me. Get stronger. Not for them, for you. For the version of you that refused to die. For the one who crawled through darkness with nothing but a broken body and an unbreakable will. For the silence that was louder than every scream. And for the roar you're about to unleash. So, if you're still listening, if something in you moved while the rest of the world stood still, then you already know. This isn't motivation. This isn't some feel-good ending. This is a threshold. And you've either crossed it, or you haven't. Because there is no going back after this. Once you see the truth, once you understand that nobody's coming, that nobody cares how heavy it is, that the world bows only to those strong enough to make it kneel, then the question becomes simple. What are you going to do about it? You either get stronger, or you get swallowed. You either rise, or you stay forgotten. And I promise you, the moment you stop making excuses, the moment you start embracing the pain, the moment you decide that enough is enough, that's when your power begins. Not when they believe in you, not when the timing is right, when you say so. That's what it means to awaken. So don't ask me how I did it. I didn't pray, I didn't wish, I didn't wait. I chose. And now the world remembers my name for one reason. Because I gave it no other choice.
If I may, I'd like to pose an interesting question. Are all human beings truly equal? These days, everywhere you go, there's talk about the fight for equality. As a wise man once said, heaven does not create one person above or below another. People like to throw his words around. That's not the whole quote. He goes on to say that while we are all equal at birth, pretty soon things begin to change. Academic effort is what sets some people apart to rise above the others. At any rate, humans change over time based on their actions. Truth be told, at the end of the day, equality is just a fantasy, and most of us go through life denying the fact that we live in a meritocracy.
Every day I've spent here, I've wondered, how did all these people let it come to this? Minds and bodies ruined, dreams of freedom erased, personalities burned away. No one would want to go to war if they knew what it would do to them. But it's not like we all leapt into that hell knowingly. Most of us were pushed. Some of us were pushed by other people. And some of us were pushed by the environments we grew up in. So, the few who do choose to leap into hell see it differently than the rest. And they're also able to see something beyond the hell. Maybe that something is hope, or maybe it's just another hell. Fact is, you can only find out by moving forward.
I get it! You were tricked! You couldn't protect the ones you loved! And everything you once believed in was lost! You're dealing with so many crazy feelings you can't stand it anymore! But that's why I have to tell you this! Don't you dare give up again! All you've ever done is give up! Instead of facing your problems, you locked yourself away and hid in the darkness because you thought it was the easiest thing to do! Just because you made a mistake that you can't fix, that doesn't mean you're allowed to run away and cry! Think about it! Shouldn't you be trying to defeat that creepy devil guy too? You had the guts to make everything else happen, right? You did that! Maybe you weren't chosen, maybe no one wanted you, and maybe you can't be forgiven! But you still have to stand your ground without making excuses for yourself! I wasn't chosen. No one wanted me. I've screwed some stuff up, but I made up my mind! I'm gonna be the Wizard King! That's why! As long as you're alive, I won't give up on you!
I'm so disappointed, Ichigo. So very disappointed. Sadly, your sword exhibits only fear. When you counter, it's because you fear being killed. When you attack, you fear killing. And when you try to protect someone, you fear you could let them die. At this point, the only thing that your sword speaks of is senseless fright. And that's not good. What you do not need in battle is fear. Nothing will come of it.
Those words cut deeper than any blade. Pathetic. That's what I've become. I thought I was protecting people, but I was really protecting myself. Protecting myself from the responsibility of true strength, from what it really means to be a guardian. Fear has been my master for too long. Fear of hurting others. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing control. But I'm starting to understand. When you're afraid to use your full power, you guarantee that you'll fail the people counting on you.
Until I become Hokage, I don't care what happens, I am not gonna die! It doesn't matter how strong my opponent is. If he tears off my arms, I'll just kick him dead. If he tears off my legs, I'll bite him dead. If he tears off my head, I'll stare him dead. If he gouges out my eyes, I'll curse him dead.
Well, I'm gonna be King of the Pirates! King of the Pirates is a title given to one who obtains everything this world has to offer! You're talking about seeking the great treasure of wealth, fame, and power! The treasure that you seek is the One Piece!
Yeah!
Yeah, that's it! Pirates from all over the world are looking for that treasure, you know?
Yeah, so?
No way! It's impossible, impossible, impossible! There's no way anyone like you could ever reach the pinnacle during this great pirate age!
It's not about if I can. I'm doing this because I want to. I decided long ago that I'm gonna be king of the pirates. If I have to die fighting for that, then I die.
If I can't control my quirk, there's no way I'll ever become a hero! I have to work way harder than everyone else here if I want to succeed! Even if I have a lot to learn, I'll focus on what I can do right now! It hurts, but not as bad as before.
In middle school, even now, no matter how much I jump, I always get blocked. Height is important for volleyball. You can't always just jump real high to make up for being short like me. But still, that never stopped me from wanting to be a spiker. I don't care whether I'm cut out for it or not. I'll do the best I can with what I've got, and I'll win! I'm on this court and I'm not going anywhere.
You know,
Set your heart ablaze. Dry your eyes and look ahead. You may feel like digging your heels in, but the flow of time waits for no one. It won't patiently stand by as you grieve.
Why, human? Why do you not despair?
I already told you. I don't have time for despair. There's someone I can't lose to, no matter what. We made a promise. One that I won't break. Not you. I'm not done. It's not over. I won't give up.
But you're the reason I could push past my limits.
Everything that you thought had meaning, every hope, dream, or moment of happiness, none of it matters as you lie bleeding out on the battlefield. None of it changes what a speeding rock does to a body. We all die. But does that mean our lives are meaningless? Does that mean that there was no point in our being born?
There was a moment when you actually said you gave up. Surrender is an outcome far worse than defeat. Wipe that smile off your face! Stopping Black, is that your only goal? You think it ends there?
Would you say that of our slain comrades? What about their lives? Were they meaningless? They were not! Their memory serves as an example to us all! The courageous fallen, the anguished fallen, their lives have meaning because we, the living, refuse to forget them!
Think about the next threat, in a year, or 5 or 10, or think about your pride! If Saiyan blood flows in your veins, if you're my son as you claim, then I won't tolerate you losing to anyone! You'll be the best, or you'll be nothing!
And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us! Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
Doesn't matter how smart, creative, or kind they are, the weak always lose! I always lose! My kindness never saved me, no. What I need now is true strength, and I am not gonna give up until I get it! Just watch me! I'll get stronger if it's the last thing I do. What if, when I saw he was open, I hadn't passed, but taken the shot instead? Would that have changed the game? And maybe my whole life? And I'm just an unknown second year forward on that team. That's the reality. It's one for all, and all for one. You can't do it alone.
You can't possibly become the world's best striker unless you're also the world's biggest egoist.
The things this guy is saying, this is the opposite of everything I've been taught.
Nothing should bring you more joy than your own goals. Live only for that glorious moment.
I can't do it. I'm no one. I've achieved nothing.
Discard your common sense. Remember, out there on the field, you're the star. And if you can't, then you're no striker at all.
I am a striker! Isaki, what are you...
I'll play your dumb game, shithead! Yeah, me too!
Congratulations and welcome, diamonds in the rough.
It's not my actions that need to change. It's my way of thinking. I can't get caught up with how I used to be. To move forward, you have to rebuild. By tearing down what was there before. I'm still outside the genius column. If I want to become the best striker in the world, I've got one choice. Whatever it is I'm lacking, I have to find it during this match. Ego! What are we supposed to do? I don't want it to end like this. Please tell me, how can we win?
Are you all stupid? Haven't you realized Blue Lock's already won? It is true, if we lose this match, it will mean the end of Blue Lock. And I'll be exiled from Japanese soccer and forgotten. But none of you will disappear. Powerhouse universities and domestic leagues will snap you up, opening all sorts of doors. That's how well you performed. The talent you displayed. Down the road, the fact that you attended Blue Lock will prove to be a powerful advantage for your career. Now that you've inherited your egos, Japanese soccer will never be the same. Stand proud, Diamond. The future has been decided.
I don't care. All of us, we want to win here and now. Not think about what's next. Losing's the same as dying, and we aren't dead yet. Nothing matters except being the best in the world!
Isaki?
Make us win already, Four Eyes.
After all, this ego is what you taught us. If it means winning, I don't mind destroying my old self. I'll be reborn again, as many times as it takes.
Element of surprise!
Born free. All of us. Free. Some don't believe it. Some try to take it away. To hell with them. Water like fire. Mountains of ice. The whole bit. Lay your eyes on that, and you'll know what freedom is. That it's worth fighting for. Fight to live. Risk it all for even a glimmer of real freedom. It doesn't matter what's waiting outside the gate or what comes in. It doesn't matter how cruel the world can be or how unjust. Fight! Fight! Fight!